Hi everybody, welcome back. My name is Mr. Campbell from MrCampbellRocks.com with another Google Meet tutorial. This is the second Google Meet attendance extension that has been released. This has been released by Alan.Kahi, and it has a different functionality than the other Google Meet attendance. There's some positives and negatives to both, and so I just wanted to explain this one, what it does, and some of the differences between the other Google Meet attendance extension and this one. Alan is a teacher, so he built it with a teacher in mind, and so let's jump in. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to chrome.google.com. Up here you'll search Google Meet attendance, and you're going to get two of them in the App Store. There's Meet attendance, then there's this one here. One of them has an apple and a check mark. The new version just has the green check mark here. So I've already installed it up on Chrome. You can see that it's right up here under Google Meet attendance. You can see also here Alan has put some things together that explain all of the different fields and what those are. So let's show you how this works. So I'm actually going to jump into a Meet. We go to meet.google.com, and you'll see that I have a script here that opens up already. I've actually just called it Bob is the name of the list. And then I've actually pre-added students on this list. And the key functionality here is that I can add my class roster to this list. Then any student that is not on that class roster will have a question mark by it. So if there's somebody that shows up to the Meet that shouldn't be in that Meet, it's going to notify me with a question mark, and I'll show you what that looks like. The other really cool thing that I love about this one is it timestamps every time somebody comes into the meeting. So if we have somebody that's late to the meeting, it'll give us a timestamp on that. Whereas the other Google Meet extension just pulls a new script for everybody when somebody new joins to the meeting. So let's start a meeting. And as we start the meeting, you'll notice that the script is here. I'm going to turn off my camera and my mic, and I'm going to join here. And you'll see the normal stuff, and you'll see all the other extensions that we have on here. What you'll see down here is we have this little check mark here, and this is where you're actually going to open up that script to take attendance. And you'll see that it comes in right over here. So I'm going to scroll it over here that we can look at it and go through some of these things. So when you hover over each one of these, you can load this as a previous file. Here is where you can clear the class list of the field. Here is where you would actually manually trigger an attendance check. So I'm going to do that right now, and what it'll do is it's going to manually go through the list of names that I've put in, and what you'll notice is that my name is not on the list, right? And that's going to show up as Spencer Campbell. And so when we do that list, that manual check, and I pull this back down again, and you'll see that my Grammarly is running in the background trying to correct everybody's spelling. And I do a timestamp here. It'll tell you the current timestamp here after we've done this. So as we go throughout and somebody jumps into the meeting, right, we're going to be able to see the list of attendees and when they arrived. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this link and I'm going to have somebody outside of the organization jump in. Let me just make sure that we've got this timestamp done here. So when we click on that little save icon, what you'll notice is that my attendance pulls down here in a CSV. So if I open that in a little CSV file, you'll see here all of the people here that are on this list with the time that they came into the meeting here. So we'll close that, and we're going to invite somebody else to the meeting, and we'll just do my other account here. I'm going to turn off my mic and my camera. Such a beautiful day, I had to do this outside. I know there's a lawnmower going and the audio is probably a little bit different than regular. I'm going to ask to join because I'm outside of the organization. Again, here we're going to admit myself here. And what you'll see is a little question mark here next to Mr. Campbell Rocks. That's because I am not on the roster. And so what that notifies me as the teacher is that there's somebody in this meet that shouldn't be here. Oh, well, maybe they're logging in under their personal account, which they shouldn't be, or maybe they've changed their name or something like that that's connected with their Google Meet. So if I wanted to just okay that, right, I could come up to this little purple icon here. Remember, if we hover over it, it'll tell us what it is. So this is going to clear the attendance checks. And you'll notice now that I have a check mark next to my name, because that means as a teacher I have manually check marked that. So we're going to hit that timestamp again, 13:51. We're going to save this file, and when we open this, what you'll see is that the meeting started here and I came in at a different time. Okay? So those are the two core functionalities that I like about this attendance meet. I also like that you can hide this. It's not always there. With the other Google Meet, it was up here, and you have all this, information here, and you had to scroll down to pick up all the names. The things that I don't necessarily love about it is that it turns it into a CSV, which then goes into an Excel format. It doesn't automatically go into Google Drive, and maybe that's something that he's working on. Either way, there are pluses to minuses. It just depends on your personality and what you would like. For me personally, I love knowing who's in the meeting and who's not supposed to be in the meeting. But also, right, as an administrator, when we have faculty meetings, it will show me if somebody jumped in 15 minutes late, so then I know who I need to send the recordings to for that. Not as a responsibility thing and like, hey, you're in trouble, you were 15 minutes late, everybody's meeting online, but it helps me to know who I need to send the meeting to after the fact. Again, if this saved you time, brought you value, saved you frustration and energy, go ahead and like and subscribe. I love you, I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you're here.